neck before, but now it's on your mouth.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talking Stocks, streaming live from Westchester County, New York, and Long Island, New York, where today is a strong up day on Wall Street, but there are some casualties. And unfortunately, I have strong positions in some of those casualties, like mRNA. So I am getting my proverbial A licked on that one. I already took my lumps on BCRX. Remember during the show, I said I was going to make up my mind last minute whether to hold to earnings or not. Well, I did hold to earnings. I wish I had not done that. Can't undo what's already done.
As much as this was my biggest position, I had no other choice but to buy more. So now it's my biggest position.
Yeah, well, I've also been nibbling at it.
Look, if we have confidence, we have confidence. It's just a question of time.
Yeah, I think
the traders out there don't want to hear that.
I tweeted out that a year from now it will be double from these levels, and I believe that.
God's ear.
I believe that to be true.
I think so too. Even if
it's just that
in the 20s would be
as traders, a year seems like forever, and when you get that hit, it's an immediate.
That's 100 spike shows.
It's an immediate jolt. Was there an overaction by Wall Street? Yes, definitely an overreaction. And the who is called brokerage houses were all copying each other, seeing who could lower their price target more.
Who could lower it?
Lower. I'm going lower than you. You went 14. I'll go 13.
Yeah, I know, right?
So we got a lot of
they have the money and they have the time to play those games.
A lot of lowering of price targets. Wall Street is treating this like strictly a commercialized company, but they're not. Orladeyo is really the only commercialized drug. They have a strong pipeline, as John Stonehouse suggested.
I know. Disappoint.
In addition to Factor D, there's many other phase one, let's say, concepts that are going to happen. This is a very, very strong company. There's no question to stay in it. It's just a bad feeling that you get in the pit of your stomach when it works against you.
Mm-hmm.
And biotech can be especially cruel, and punishing at times. But on the other hand, I was long and strong Sava, sold most of my position to cover my paper losses on BCRX, mRNA.
Did you trim on Sava at these levels?
I haven't checked Sava today, but I sold at 90 and 95.
Yeah, Patrick got out and he's headed for the hills. He's saying,
"Yeah."
I don't know if I could blame him.
No, I was thinking of getting
the whole market in general.
I was thinking of getting totally out, but I left about 30%.
For Sava, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't get completely out of this market.
No, and Innovis was up in sympathy for a while, but it came back down.
Did it?
And ATHA, another Alzheimer's play, was up in sympathy. CRTX was up in sympathy. I don't know how we should take a look at some of these Alzheimer's plays.
We should.
Today.
Affects a little bit.
Yeah, and IWM I bought, so I'm doing well on that.
Well,
as soon as it broke
having a melt up, isn't it?
As soon as it broke 134, I said that was the time to think about buying. As soon as we got a complete break, well, the break was complete enough for me at about 135, 136. I bought it somewhere in that area, so I'm doing well there. But certainly still not enough to take basically a 50% hit on not BCRX but Moderna. That's the one that's hurting me the most.
Killer.
Yeah, let's see how some of our viewers fared. I hope they fared better than me.
They're having a good overall. They're having a good attitude. even though some of them are taking hits.
Yeah. Shalom, magnificent answer. Good morning, Sean. Andrew, mixed. He did mixed results. He also lost on Moderna. And so the surprise mark is down to. Oh, by the way, I'm also fortunate that I have a nice position in Pfizer, which has made a move. So Sava, Pfizer, a couple of Athesis made a little move. I started to make some money in other areas, but and Amazon, of course. So I do have my. It's basically you lose on some, you win on some, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm like flat when everyone else. When this has been a great week for everyone. So admittedly, I did not do as well as I would have liked. Okay.
Yeah,
everyone's greeting everybody.
Yes, so we're all a community here. It's just that you and I
is mostly in chips and EV.
Yeah, so that was where my investment stuff is. So I'm not crying about that.
Always do your own due diligence.
Very well.
Strictly our own and do not constitute investment advice. Check with an advisor before acting. By the way, GM I'm back. I'm back in GM. I've been talking GM.
Yeah, no, I went in when you. went in when you.
Yeah, I bought back at 55, 56. A couple of times.
Ford, I went in at 15, got out at 17, but had to get back in again.
Yeah.
So now we're almost 20. We're 19 and a half. Yeah, this is what Patrick was saying.
I mean, I was thinking. I'm thinking to myself, which is the most likely takeout to candidate for Tesla next year? Now, I'm thinking GM, so I went with my thinking. Patrick took his last profits in Sava at 91 and kissed the stock market goodbye because I see hyperinflation plus broken supply chain. Patrick, very negative attitude here, Patrick.
He's, like I said, headed for the hills.
Labor shortage and energy crunch.
But there's a suggestion that a couple of the other people are saying, just stop being a trader and start being an investor, and then, at least
I'm a little bit. I think you have to be a little bit of both.
Well, that's the way
there's some stocks you should be long-term in, like Amazon, Apple, and so on, and some that you can trade, like Biotech.
Biotech, right? Well, these EV plays are mixing in with the regular cars, so I'm going to put cars, like you said, Ford and GM.
Magnificent answer. No thumbs down, please.
Yeah, that was somebody. I think we got one of those, but it's not a big deal. We gotta understand people's frustrations.
No, you can give us a thumbs down out of frustration. I mean, probably deserve it. This week, admittedly, didn't do as well as I would have liked. And fortunate just to be basically even.
Actually, we didn't get a thumbs down. So
Andrew also is debating selling PCRX pre-market. Yeah.
That was a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Look, we're all thinking 23 at some point, right? So just gotta wait for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking $21 by next year.
Okay.
Yes, I have my crystal ball, Sean. $21 by.
What do you want to know?
12-month target on BCRX, $21. Higher than any other brokerage house, because Dr. J is smarter than all of those people on Wall Street.
Well, but they were giving pretty high prices. Like I said, there was a 23 in there.
There are some pretty smart people on Wall Street, though.
Yeah, there are. Being one of them.
They're just not smarter than Dr. J, but they're pretty smart.
Well, look, they have time on task. The whole Malcolm Gladwell thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, have you really spent 10,000 hours yet?
No.
You might have spent a lot, but not 10,000.
Another CTRX holder was not a pleasant. The air got let out of the balloon. I mean, it had been 120, 30. Now it went down to 12. I mean, that was some downtime. OCGN is another, meme play. And I guess judging from Sean, they must have had the air let out of it too. But they did make a lot of money. They had a big run on nothing. On nothing. A brutal week for Chris, losing in DraftKings, PCRX, and Cala. I too took a hit on Cala today. So I've been in almost every one of these casualties du jour.
Not to mention Penn. Penn took another hit.
Yeah, I don't own that one.
That's the one that it turns out. I thought Penn was a pure play on Barstool, but it turns out they got other things going, and the Barstool aspect of it did fine. It was the other stuff that killed
I
me.
have the same kind of losses with Cala, BCRX, and DraftKings, but I also have my winners that offset it.
Well, lucky you. It's good. Well, I mean, there was some good news in there. Like we said, Ford, some good news. GM was some good news. Anybody who's holding Tesla can't be crying.
No. Even if we haven't seen the bottom, Chris, it's not a bad ad because it'll be higher by the end of the year. Higher than what you bought it at.
Yeah, Professor Omar was a lot of people thinking that it might be going to a deeper bargain. Professor Omar was saying he was thinking it's a possibility, but he wasn't very strong on that possibility.
In the middle 923, I think, was a key turning point.
Yeah, he mentioned that number, but he didn't mention any kind of confidence it would hit that.
We could look at the chart.
Sure.
On that. Yeah. MA, that's the usual. People sell the winners to cover for losers only, to see losers go down and winners to continue to go up. That happens a lot, unfortunately. MA is absolutely correct. If you're going to sell your winners, I would also sell my losers, or some of them.
Well, yeah, there's no reason to pay it all to the tax man.
Yeah.
You always have an extra month to buy back in again without the wash.
Well, that way you're not going to, hurt yourself by staying in the losers, which continue to go down.
Yes, that's going to be my thoughts on December. I have plenty to take losses on. It's just a question of which of Sophie's choices to give away.
Andrew has been playing the swings on OCGN. Very difficult to play. You got to be very nimble trader on that one, as he points out. So, everybody's been scrambling to try to stay above water.
On Peloton.
Great job in getting back into Ford, getting a compliment.
I know it was tough. I was waiting for 15 again, but it wasn't happening.
Rivian IPO is coming next week.
Yeah, maybe after the IPO, there might be a little dip to grab some more.
Yeah, and Jota approves of my GM position.
And what about how are you doing in Lucid? Because I saw
I'm not in Lucid.
Lucid, it's like one of those helium balloons that you accidentally drop the you accidentally let go of the string and you're trying to get the balloon again.
Giggly is missing again. We have to send out an all points bulletin. Last time he was missing was not good news. So
last time was right.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'm just hoping he's okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was on about a week ago.
Oh, okay.
But he wasn't. He was being somewhat, just sidelines.
Ah, gotcha. If it's only money, then we're not too concerned. As long as his health is good and so on.
Indeed.
Zeisman, good morning. GM calls did well this week. Thanks for the suggestions, Zeisman said.
Yep. Oh, you went in with the options. Well, that's the way to leverage it out. but
It calls. I bought calls on IWM as well as buying IWM, so that helped me a little too. Peloton is an interesting play. I mean,
it's
it's had its ups and downs.
I was doing Lululemon instead about a year
I
ago.
think Peloton cycles a lot between its high and low.
Talk about.
I'm trying to make a pun.
What?
Cycles.
Oh, it's cycling. Cycling, everybody. Get that? Get it?
That's my attempt at humor.
Yeah, no, Lucid might be elusive if you want to get a cheap price. Because
Lucid is elusive.
I got in at 25 and I got out at like 33, thinking I made out like a bandit.
Yeah. Well, you did.
No, I did. I'm not complaining, but it's still something I wanted to hold. I should have held some of it because it's something I'm still into long term. But I'll have to find an opportunity or bite the bullet like Andrew did.
Let's take a look at some of these losers and some of these winners. Athesis is worth mentioning that it's come back a lot off the lows. I called the low perfectly on Athesis.
Mm.
It ran to 140. Now I think it's backed off to 135. Right. The low is 110. So that's a very nice percentage move off the lows. So there are some things that made me happy. Not too many, but some things.
Well, around every dark cloud, around every silver lining is a dark cloud.
Yeah, that's the trouble when you own.
You should get rid of Andrew's comment so that we can see the charts better.
When you own too many stocks, that's the problem. You know, one goes up, the other goes down, and you're basically even.
Well, right. That's the pluses and the minuses of diversification.
Yeah, that's the problem with diversification.
But the reason that all the professionals say to do it is precisely for that.
Yeah.
Especially for money that you want to have.
The Russell is up a whopping 1.83% today, doing well there. All right, let's take a look at PCRX. We'll start with a loser.
I want to start with an index first.
Okay. IWM?
Yeah, IWM and IBB, I thought.
Okay.
Just to get a counterbalance.
Well, this one should look pretty good, breaking out finally. And
yeah.
run, she will.
There she goes.
My opinion is that this will be the best performing index out of the Dow, S&P, even the Qs. I think the IWM will outperform, probably starting from now through the end of the bull market. I think the IWM is the place to be. Playing catch up. I think as you know, wherever the bull market ends, this will indicate that end as well. So watch the IWM. I think it's a place to be. I like it better than the spiders, better than the diamonds, even better than the Qs. So once it broke through that wall of resistance, it was a no-brainer to go in.
Yeah,
and I was talking about that wall of resistance for the longest time.
Yeah, no, I know. It was in that range for the longest time. And we did see there was a sort of a pennant kind of thing happening, and right around the tip of the pennant, you could see the pop-up.
Let's look at the weekly.
So it could have gone either way. Yeah, the weekly actually even you can't see the pennant as much with the weekly, but you could see it was like a spring being held and held and held, and then all of a sudden popping.
I mean, this has been a wall of resistance for about 10 months. So I finally broke through this wall. And once that happens, there's no limit. I think this will perform at an annual clip of 20% gains. And if as long as the bull market shall last, this will outperform the other indices, in my opinion. So I mean, I'm probably going to add to my position on any pullback at this point. Buy the dips. Don't sell the rips because this is going higher. This is the index to be in. XBI versus IBB.
You call it because you're the one who's been looking at it.
I made my money on XBI and I sold. So let's look at IBB because I know you're in it.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Ooh, Biotech is still direct. Moderna alone must be pulling this thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because I put long-term money on this, thinking that, all this good news would be coming out over the next 6 months.
Yeah, but Moderna.
Well, but was Moderna really bad news? What was it really? Just that they didn't sell as much vaccine as they thought they would?
No, I think there's issues with the children vaccine that it might cause what do you call that swelling of the heart? Pericarditis or myocarditis?
Heart thing.
Yeah. So especially amongst young people.
Didn't they say it was worse with the actual disease? Like I said,
Yeah. Look, I mean, the FDA held them up on approval for 12 to 18.
right.
So, let alone approval for 5 to 11.
So Pfizer got the end run again. Somebody up there likes Pfizer.
Well, I certainly do, but at the same time,
Well, we're just sideline fans. I'm talking about somebody with control.
At this point, the IBB looks like it's going up, but at a much slower pace than the other indices. So I would still think, at some point this will play catch up, but maybe not just yet.
Understood. Okay. Yeah, like I think that's another thing Professor Omar said, that the pull up from the IWM might pull up these other indices with it.
Yes,
Like a gravitational.
Professor Omar is no fool.
No, I know. Although he does talk a lot, so it's hard to parse through all of it.
Well, I didn't say he doesn't talk a lot, but I just said he's no fool. The XBI looks a lot better, doesn't it?
It does indeed. It looks a little more stable anyway.
Yeah, it looks a lot better. It's similar look, but better. We're not down 5 because Moderna's influence on the XBI must be much less than on the IBB.
That's the way to read that.
Yeah, that's how I read it.
More of the newest stuff.
That's how I read it. So of the two indices right now, I'd rather be an XBI.
Right. All right, now we're at PCRX time, I'd say. Everybody's chomping at the bit about this one.
Yeah,
it's still on the weekly, I think.
Very ugly week. Very ugly week, but we're up 10% today for those who bought in the
the funny thing is, though, like we said, there was looking at the charts and there was acting despite the charts, but the chart itself looks very, well, on the weekly anyway, looks like a rational chart.
Yeah, it really didn't collapse. It did not collapse. I know it appears to have collapsed because if you look at your pocketbook, it's hurting.
Right, but it did more. It did slightly more than the downtrend. If you take those two bottoms, and take those two bottoms out, I mean all the way down, I think we're still below.
Look at the trend line I just drew on the daily.
Okay.
We haven't violated that trend. That trend line. Have not.
Okay.
I'm very bullish PCRX from these levels.
Yeah, and there's your bottom right there. Maybe.
Oh, what am I talking about? I have to pay more attention. We have a engulfing from the day before. It looks like the low of 1153, the low of 1152. So we didn't quite get an engulfing, but it's essentially an engulfing.
Right.
Well, close enough that I'm going to call it an engulfing. This certainly signals a turnaround in my mind. So I think we bottomed here. Bottomed at
Oh,
1152.
we got to remember, it wasn't bad news. It just, people had higher expectations than, that in terms of revenues.
It's how you
It was
want to
still,
view
it was
this
still great
company.
news.
Do you want to view it as a company with a very strong pipeline and an already approved drug that's only going to grow in revenues and help it for the bottom line? Or do you want to view it as just a commercial company that had a miss? It's more than a commercial company that had a miss. There's factor D and many other potential potential drugs coming in the future.
Yeah,
So
when Arjun comes back, I'll give us
this is
the
a real company with real people, with real scientists. I love this company. So there's no point in panicking at this point. That's how I see it. No point in panicking. We've got the turnaround candle in place. Let's go. Let's come back. Come back to the 14s. Make everyone happy. I think it will.
I think it will. Do you want to do DraftKings or Penn? Which one do you like better?
All right, DraftKings.
Either one. I think DraftKings is less dramatic.
Yeah.
Even though it's still pretty bad.
Well, when the Jets beat Cincinnati, you knew that anything can happen when it comes to gambling.
Yeah, they got their butts kicked yesterday. They almost kept the Colts from beating the spread. Very heartbreaking.
Well, wasn't it they lost their quarterback? Second string quarterback?
Yeah, but the guy who's taken over has actually shown some real talent.
No, White was lost, wasn't it?
No, White played.
Oh, I thought he hurt his wrist. That was only in the first half. I didn't watch the second half.
Yeah, well, good on you.
I guess
I was with Abdel.
I gave up on that. So DraftKings is in a down draft.
It is.
Yeah, we're heading down, but today.
Thank you, May.
Today is a nice candle, and based on today's candle, there's always hope for tomorrow. I just don't want to see it give back anymore. I don't like big upper wicks. So right now it's okay, but I really would rather see it close where the low was yesterday, so we get a positive on the day instead of a negative. Or in other words, I want it to close. It's green candle, but I want it to close higher than the close yesterday.
Sure, that would be nice.
Yeah, so I want it to gain 68 cents at least. That would be a very positive signal. The end of the day strong, and the week strong. You want that. You want to see the gain on the day for DraftKings. Is a signal.
Let's see if now that baseball's over, let's see if some interest gets pushed over to football, and then maybe what I was saying about having a decent number by the end of the Super Bowl would pan out.
All right, so let's see what kept Dr. J in the game this week. Sava, 90-11. I still have 30% left, so I'm not selling that till it hits 149.
Where did you get in on that one, on that patch?
I had some from as high as 100.
Yeah, that's what I'm still holding.
And then I added, there's plenty of time to add in the 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
So I added. I'm adding on a Novus. I'm adding on this one. I was adding on this one.
Are you still collecting a Novus or no?
Yeah, I'm still collecting Novus, hoping for the woman CEO bought a ton of stock. She opened up her purse strings.
Well, it's up 11% today.
I like when the CEO buys.
Yes, indeed.
especially in a company that, as Patrick likes to say, in a company with 3 employees.
Yeah, right.
When one of those 3 opens their purse strings and starts buying, very encouraging, insider trade. So that encouraged me to
Well, I
add.
mean, look, the Sava was found that whatever little mistakes they made were just mistakes, and a novice is going to get the same thing. I think.
Yeah, a novice
Novice
had some. Not the phase 2 data wasn't that strong. Sava, the phase 2 data was very strong.
right, but then somebody said, "Oh, but there was some mistakes in there." Right.
You know, there are always those that are looking to capitalize with the short, with phony short theses.
Right. I guess.
Make up a story and make money. Throw a phony lawsuit at them.
Lucy just broke 40. Bummer. Well, good on everybody else. Thank you.
What just broke 40?
Lucid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it's making its run.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, I'm glad people are holding and actually making some real profit. There's some people who are still
we need Jiggly. Jiggly would say Sava to the moon.
to the moon. Yeah. Well, like some people, when it was still Churchill, were in at 65 when it went down. It went from 65 to 35 in one day, and they were all heartbroken. Who's to say that some of those people still aren't in?
I'm sure. I'm sure some of them still are. And another one that I've been adding to is OYST.
Oh, your Ersta.
They have a nice pipeline, ophthalmology drug.
Look at that. That's that V that we saw before, right?
They got approval right here, and look how it went down.
Right.
It's always sell the news, right?
Indeed.
Well, now it's clearly made a bottom.
I'm still waiting with what is that, XRES and
the bottom line is the bottom line is
it's gonna be good.
the bottom line is there are a lot of people out there with dry eyes. So this is a very good.
You mean even after losing all their money in Moderna?
Maybe not. Yeah. Well, I'm making some money on OIS, so counteracts.
Yeah, no, this is a beautiful looking stock.
Yeah, I think if OIS is a stock that's poised with its new drug and the pipeline to go much higher. I like this one a lot. And I call it its cousin. It had a rejection by the FDA.
Oh yeah, the
OCUL
Ocul,
cousin,
right.
and that's starting to come back a little bit off the bottom. So is it okay to nibble on OCUL? I think so. I think we bottomed. So I'm nibbling on this one as well. I like both.
Are you seeing a little uptick? Yeah, I see it.
So I like both of these stocks, OCUL and OIS. I like OIS better, of course, but keep your eye on 795. When that gets taken out, this thing could run. So put in an alert on this one. Your alert should read greater than or equal to 796, and then you think about buying, because that's a signal that it's gonna probably run to $10. So I like this one. It may take a while. I'm not saying tomorrow. I mean, but I think it'll happen. I think you're going to get that run back to the double digits. Maybe take months, but it's okay. What's your hurry? Buy a little bit at a time.
Right.
Do
you want to look at AEMD?
AEMD, that one really had me fooled. When it hit it. Let me look at the chart rather than try to remember the numbers. I'm collecting this one.
Yeah, I'm waiting for another one of those pops. You know, every time it gives a
Yeah.
pop, I
Well,
drop.
it had a baby pop in the middle of the week for 368. I got excited.
Hmm.
And then it got rejected by the 50 and it is testing the 200.
And then it gave
So
you a
it's
graveyard.
it's been trading between the 50 and the 200. And we're at the low end of the trading range. The thing is, I don't like the chart, the way it came back down was very brutal. I think right here on 11.3,
Uh-huh.
the last hour it was a very big sell-off. So that's what hurt. That's what made me think it's going to go down tomorrow and the next day. And
Yeah.
sure enough, it is. So I don't know. That signal bothered me.
Well, it looks like that 200 is a very important number. You know, if it busts that 200, then we
Yeah, you
might.
want to keep that 200. You don't. Yeah, it's flirting with lows that make me that have me a little edgy.
Yeah.
So on the other hand,
No,
ATHX.
if it bounces off of that 200, then it might be worth getting in at least for a little for a mini pop, like you said.
This one, to me, is 10 bagger or not, easy.
Arena, right?
If it's going to run, it'll be a 10 bagger. If it doesn't go to zero, it'll go to 30.
If it doesn't go to zero, it's not going to go to zero.
If it doesn't go to zero, it'll go to 30.
Oh, what happened today? It looks like a pretty bad candle.
On Athesis,
Oh, and that's I thought you were looking at UPH.
ATHX is a good candle because it was trading lower and it's all lower shadow now, and it looks like it wants to
I
go
agree, Lynn.
up. So it's bounced off some lows, and it had a very nice run from this 110 area to a high of 142.
Right.
Very nice run. I think this is worth nibbling at. I don't see it going down too much more. Although, maybe the middle of this candle is certainly a possibility. Let me draw that horizontal line. If you want to get in at a better price, you might just get it right about here,
Right.
right about $1.30.
$1.30. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's the inflection point again.
Although it almost hit that today, so maybe you missed it.
Yeah, no, that's my original price. I got in that first 130.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Looks
the
like
one
it
earlier.
looks like a good place to buy because there's a lot of touches to this 130 line.
Right. That's if we're investing.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you're actually looking to do a swing on that.
On this one, you're waiting for data. That could come the end of December.
Yeah.
And you're waiting for good data. That's the other rub.
Right.
One more.
Since I mentioned AUPH, you might as well put that up.
Arenia.
And then if you have time for VBIV, that would be great.
Sure.
Actually, we're still below the 45 mark. So
I wanted to chart CRTX. That one collapsed.
okay. All right. So
So
this is Arena.
Arenia.
It popped on the notion of a buyout, but nothing
Well,
specific.
it's more than a notion. It's been approached by BMY.
Who's getting them?
Who's going to buy them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe BMY. They approached them. Maybe Roche. There's several.
I heard there was some interest across the board, but nothing concrete. That was my understanding.
This one will be bought. I just don't know when or by whom or for how much, but it will be bought. My thinking was $38 originally. MA corrupted my thinking, more like $50 or higher.
Indeed, right. I see what you're saying.
I think he's
Question is,
probably right.
if you want to get in on that, you're not going to get back in at near 25. The best you can do is where
Well,
you're in.
this would be the pullback to get in, $28, $29, something
Right.
like that. You could pull back to that area. So Arena looks good on strictly a buyout play. And BCRX could be bought. That could happen
You
also.
know something right now that it's got bargain basement prices.
Yeah, $25 will look attractive to shareholders. So yes,
I'd say
BCRX can be bought. And GM, CRTX.
yes, TX.
What a collapse. It's from the highs of way over 100.
And this was another Alzheimer's play, correct?
Yeah, and
Because there's CRTX and CTXR, right? And I keep on getting the two of them mixed up.
no, there was, well, I don't think that was in initials. You mean the one that Man would buy?
The one that Fosco gave us.
Yeah, that was a Man play as well. Well, we hit bottom. It looks like we're off bottom, but it doesn't look like it's going anywhere fast. It's got to take out this top. It's got to take out what is that? $20. 2020. It's got to have 2020 vision or better before you put an alert. $21. Think about buying this one. If it can hit $21, it can hit $50. So that's what the chart is saying. $21 is key here. 2020. And what else? You want to look at
You want to do VBIF for me, and then we can go.
VBIV. Maybe GM.
Okay.
VBIV 303. It's hanging in there. It's not looking like it's making much of.
Not what I would call a PDUFA run.
It's not a big PDUFA run yet, but it's still plenty of time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think this
is the other one that you have to trim the day before PDUFA, right?
Yeah, apparently you can't be in it through PDUFA. We should have known better for BCRX, but we did.
No, but we thought the earnings was so stellar last quarter, and we were just thinking they would just continue the same way, and that they would, but how anybody wants to, interpret that is up to them. Oh, it sucks because it was not stellar 2 times in a row.
It's the same day as VBIV's approval or CRL.
This was the other one you're on, right?
Yeah, CTI.
A lot better.
CTI is another one that's in a PDUFA the same day, November 3rd.
Is this another PDUFA run, or is this something that you would hold on through PDUFA?
Good question. Again, do you want to hold on through commercialization? That's the problem.
Good, very good question. I mean, Jake's been very wise about not doing that.
Yeah. Maybe you just got to play it.
On the table.
You want to, maybe you gamble that it gets approved, because I do think it will be approved, and then sell pre-market.
There you go.
Maybe that's the way to play these things.
Hmm.
But it does look like it wants to put in a PDUFA run, maybe back to over 3. I would expect that. So I think there's money to be made till PDUFA on CTI. What else did I advertise?
You didn't advertise anything.
I did. At the last minute, I put in 4 stocks. The ones you told me to put in.
Oh, the ones I gave you? We didn't do Moderna and Pfizer. Those are the only ones we didn't do from those.
Yeah, those are the ones. So I guess we did that. GM is having an interesting day today. Flat on the day, but a red candle. It opened higher. very near its all-time highs, I believe. No,
Is this,
64, 64 is the all-time.
is this a bounce, or do you think we might break through?
I
That'd be
think we
nice.
break. I think we break through.
That would be nice.
The end is looking good.
Yeah, because you gave this to us on Wednesday in terms of this.
We have a double top here at 59.35, and today at 59.34. So you want to see it break that $60 level, because right now it's forming. If it backs off of this, it's going to be a strong resistance.
Right.
If it backs off of
Then
this,
you could probably buy back in again at the gap.
yeah, you could probably buy back in at the 200.
Right. There you go.
About where I bought $56.
Yeah, no, that's where you gave it to us.
Yeah,
Exactly there, right?
yeah, $55. I think. Yeah, look, I like it, but realistically, the chart says it's got to take this number out.
Linda has a request for ITRM, just so you know.
For what?
ITRM.
ITRM?
Yeah, so a Linda special.
Okay.
Have you
57
heard of these guys? I never heard of these guys.
57 cents. 57 cents. Huh? We're trading below just about on the 50.
Weird looking chart. So I mean, somewhere in the past, there was actually it actually had real numbers.
Yeah, but the good news is it seems to be at this point trending up a little.
Yeah, it does look like it's creating, except for those little blips. It's pretty well rounded too.
Yeah, it's edging away from its support. Support at 50 cents. 50 cents is strong support. It's edging up off of that. I want to see it make a new high from yesterday. Yesterday's high today was 61. So I would put an alert right in here. Take out 61, get in.
Right.
And take out 74. Looks like a great place to get in.
Yeah, off to the races, right?
Yeah. But 61 is a good place to speculate. Even here, it's not bad for a swing trade.
Yeah.
So with these penny stocks, you could make money with little moves. I mean, a dime is a big move.
Right.
One more that I want to look at.
Okay.
AABB, the one that I missed.
Okay. Yeah, actually, people have been thanking you for that one still.
Yeah, but except me, I'm kicking myself. I didn't.
Yeah, well, they were thanking you 2 days ago.
Yeah, well, I was very annoyed at myself that I didn't look that it was 28 cents when my good till cancel was 29 cents. I would have been out of it. But it's okay. I think the 200 days support. It hit that 2 days ago at 15 cents. I think we're going to get a bigger run than 29 cents. When they finally come out with their exchange, I think you're going to see a pop to something like 49 cents, quite possibly. But instead of putting a good till cancel in for 49 cents, I'm going to put it in for 48 cents after what happened to me with the nine.
Exactly. Are you going to buy any more from this?
I might buy some more. I might. I haven't decided, but I might. All right, so that's it for today. How did we do?
We're over the 45 mark and under the hour mark, which is
all right. So we did okay. We did okay.
Yep.
And I think we satisfied most requests.
Even we don't take requests on the price of the stock. That's up to the market.
Yeah, that's up to the market. So as always, we're asking for people to subscribe so they don't miss our words of wisdom. But you know, we have to have smart people following us because we have some really big winners, but at the same time, we have some lousy ones.
Yeah.
So our viewers have to be smart enough to know which one of our stocks are winners and which ones are losers.
Come on, it's our viewers that give us these great ideas.
That too. Our viewers give us many of these great ideas. Okay,
Thank you,
so
guys. Appreciate it.
I think we'll wrap it up for this
Yep.
week.
Andrew wants to know if you're backing into Moderna or if you're just bailing.
I'm not bailing because even Goldman, when they lowered their target, lowered it to $400.
So is it
So
worth is it worth averaging down a little bit? Is the question.
at some point, yes.
Yeah, because it's been in a free fall.
I didn't just buy it for the vaccine. I bought it for the future cure of cancer. This is a very good company.
Okay.
All right, Roy Cordero, good afternoon to you. You started in the morning and now it's the afternoon.
The afternoon, indeed. Have a good weekend, everybody, and good luck.
Yes, take care, M.A., Andrew, Mark, Joda, Sean, Linda, and Jigglypuff, wherever you are.
Mrs. Calabash.
Yes.